The Intrepid Museum is usually packed with tourists visiting from all over the country and even the world. But on the 24th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, volunteers from all 5 boroughs and beyond filled the ship to pack meals for New Yorkers. Later, a different bell rang. That's the sound marking a moment of silence honoring the 2,977 people who died on the clear blue day.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray.
That's Brooklyn-born retired NYPD officer Daniel Rodriguez.
Majesty above the fruited plain, America, America, God shed His grace on thee.
The crowd looked on at the man whose voice helped heal the nation immediately after the attacks on 9/11 with his rendition of God Bless America.
Shining sea.
9/11 is a national day of service. It was designated as such in 2009, but only because of a group of 9/11 family members who got together, inspired by the way that we all came together and supported and cared for each other in those days following the attacks.
That's Jennifer Burke, the national program director with the nonprofit organization 9/11 Day.
We are here to give, to be good to each other, to forget our differences for even just a moment, and to put good out into the world. So you all are part of this incredible observance.
The volunteers, wearing hairnets, gloves, and bright-colored t-shirts representing their organizations, stood stretched out along tables packing rice, lentils, and dehydrated vegetables in an assembly line. These non-perishable bags will be distributed to food banks across New York City. Andrew Minicucci is here to honor his Uncle Pete, who died on 9/11.
I love you, Uncle Pete. I think about you every day, and I miss you.
He's here with his colleagues from Stifel, an investment banking company. The terrorist attack more than 2 decades ago impacted many financial companies, especially Cantor Fitzgerald, who lost the majority of their New York workforce, 658 people. And a day after the political assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk in Utah, Minicucci says he feels like people are more divided than ever today across the country. What he remembers most is that 9/11 brought people together.
It's just a day that I think about all the time, and anything we can do to help, I'm all there for.
Chanel Hoops is a California native who was not in New York during 9/11, but the National Day of Service has become special to her.
You know, being from California, I could only imagine what happened. But when you meet New Yorkers and you hear about their stories, like everybody, no matter where they're from, they know exactly where they were on 9/11. And so people coming together here is like amazing, because this doesn't happen to me in like California. It's really definitely in New York that it's such a big event.
The table captain hopes her team with the 9/11 Day organization can make 2 million packages to donate by the end of the day.
All right.
Jay Winnick is one of the 9/11 Day co-founders. He's also packing food.
Part of what inspired this initiative, for at least on this one day a year, for people to come together and do good deeds and not focus on our differences, but realize that we all need each other. Everybody needs a helping hand once in a while.
On 9/11, he lost his younger brother Glenn, who was a Hofstra Law alum.
And he loved Hofstra. He just loved Hofstra. And so he would, in fact, go back to Long Island on the weekends to, number one, do his laundry at my parents' house and see his firefighting buddies. But he would go to the Hofstra campus and use the law library. It was very, very meaningful to him. So Hofstra has a really important connection to our family.
Winnick says September 11th is always a bittersweet day.
You know, we think about Glenn every day, but especially on this day, and how he died and how he served his community. He was a very giving, caring person. And of course, he did what firefighters do. You know, he raced into a position of danger to help people because he was qualified to do it, and he had the guts, and he had the wherewithal and the training. He was specially certified in building collapse rescue training. We count on people like Glenn when times are dangerous for us. But even though it's such a difficult day, when I think about the fact that my kid brother is now gone 24 years, it's also a day to recognize how we came together after 9/11.
When we finished talking, I could see hundreds of volunteers already packed boxes filled with colorful bags of jambalaya. Nearby, David Payne, the president and other co-founder of the 9/11 Day organization, was watching with excitement.
It's humbling to see that happen, but I think it's also a reminder to me, and I think to everybody, that there is this innate goodness that we all share as human beings.
He used to live on Long Island. Payne said that he spent his childhood biking around Hofstra's campus while his father, Eric Schmertz, worked as the dean of the law school. He acknowledges how younger generations can only hear stories about this tragedy and learn from others' lessons.
For young people that have no memories of 9/11, 9/11 Day is a day of unity. It's a day of emphasizing how much we have in common as human beings, and that the goodness that we're all endowed with at the time of our birth is the power that we can use to bridge our differences. In fact, goodness transcends it.
Despite all of the work he and his organization have done, he knows the future still has a way to go.
The next generation is going to have to do a hell of a lot better in working with other people that may be different from them in the form of peace.
Charity work means more to people like Vanessa Rivera from U.S. Hunger. At a time when the country is politically divided, she said she found a place with people who share a common goal.
We have a lot of divide, and I know this is the one time that we can come together and remember what's really important. The fallen ones, the families of the fallen ones.
She knows that events like these have a strong effect on those who participate and those who are in need.
Do good deeds and bring everybody together. That's what we're here for, to bring everybody else up, bring the energy up, and remind everybody what's important.
The event has fostered a sense of community among volunteers. I spoke to several people who have returned from previous years, including JP Morgan Chase's Vice President of Community Managers, Kim Aviles, who emphasized the importance of connecting with people.
It's so amazing the amount of support and energy, and so many of us, and I remember being in a city at 9/11, and to be able to do something in service to our community is phenomenal.
The nonprofit that Rivera came with has become a family for those who volunteer every year. Asa Som came with New York Cares.
And it's also given me a chance to hang out with my friends who are my fellow volunteers. I see them at least once a year through this project. So it's become like really like a family, friends gathering, and a chance to give back to the community.
That sense of community is something that JP Morgan Chase's head of the Office of Military and Veteran Affairs, Mark Elliott, encourages, especially on a day dedicated to helping others.
Today just is a reminder that it doesn't matter what our background is, what our ethnicity is. It's seeing everybody come together for a common cause to give back to a community, that is needful of support.
According to Elliott, reaching out to others outside of our circle is a key factor in leaving the world better than we found it.
It's important that we realize it's not about us, it's about how we, it's one of those things you say, how do you leave a thing and how do you make it better? And so this is about how do we make this nation better, how do we make the city better?
Elliott looks forward to returning next September 11th, but hopes to find ways to help his community before then. From the Intrepid Museum in New York City, I'm Alexa D'Amato, WRHU News.